Welcome to the RAF Heritage Museum of WA, home to one of the largest collections of aviation memorabilia in Australia. Chances are if something was built to fly in the last 100 years, you'll find it right here. Now, I absolutely love places like this because there's so much to see, do and explore. So come on, let's go check it out. The Aviation Museum of WA is owned and operated by the West Australian Division of the RAF and can be found in Bull Creek, WA. It was originally started way back in the early 1960s to accommodate aircraft used by the RAF and to celebrate their rich history. The museum is now home to the largest collection of heritage aircraft, including a range of extremely rare aircraft dating back to the early 1900s, like the Lancaster bomber, similar to the one that flew over Europe during World War II. And there's this, another prize plane of the museum, a 1945 Spitfire. Ka-pew, ka-pew, pew. I've been hit, mayday, mayday, I'm going down. What? In the 1960s, the RAF also collected aviation heritage memorabilia, which included things like books and photographs. By the 1970s, the collection had grown to such a size that the association began planning a museum to house it all. That's when the Aviation Historical Group was formed to look after and extend the collection. Over the next decade, it actively sourced, collected, restored and displayed aeroplanes and other aviation heritage artefacts, and thus, the museum was born. Brian, you've got a fantastic collection here, but just how big is it?
Oh, it's two massive great buildings, as you can see, the south wing here, the north wing outside, and there's some 30 aeroplanes, lots of models and memorabilia around the walls.
Now, you've got a lot of static displays, but they tell me there's some that you can actually interact with.
You can indeed. If you'd like to press the button, you can start up a genuine 1916 Larone rotary engine, as used in the Sopwith Camel. The aircraft itself is a replica.
The whole engine's turning.
It does. The crankshaft is stationary.
The museum is operated with the assistance of over 200 volunteers, some of which have actually flown in several of the heritage planes. It'll cost you about $10 for adults, and concessions are subject to a discount. Children under 4 are free. The best thing is, once you're inside the museum, everything on display is included. And there's heaps on display to keep you entertained, and even more places that you can just sit, travel back in time and just enjoy the ambience of it. There's every type of aircraft engine you could possibly think of here, from a rotary used to power a small plane to jet engines to this Rolls-Royce Merlin used to power the Spitfire. You're encouraged to seek out volunteers to assist you with questions you may have. However, if you're willing to participate in a group guided tour, a tour guide will accompany you around the museum at the designated times. And if you book ahead, in most cases, you can get your very own personal guide. Len, I was told that you were one of the original ground crew on the Lancaster.
Exactly, yes. From early 1943 right to the end of the war. Wow,
so you worked on this for real?
Yes.
And did you ever go up in one?
Oh yes, we had one of every trade had to fly on test flights to make sure you did your job right.
And I read that if you go to a certain height, you were on oxygen in them.
Over 10,000 feet, yeah. On test flights, we used to have to wear a parachute, but it never went over 2,000 feet. And a parachute in total under 2,000 feet. So I often wonder how...
just to make you feel safe.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
But you survived. So how many of these did they make?
7,377.
And how many do you think are left?
22, 23.
Wow, so that would make this a pretty unique plane.
Oh yes, yes. This one is in display condition, but not in flying condition. It's had to have a lot of money spent to get into airworthy condition. Probably estimate about $40 million.
Wow, really? The museum is open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m, 7 days a week. And don't forget to allow yourself at least 2 hours to fully appreciate the museum. And so you don't forget your visit, you can grab yourself a little memento from their gift shop. So guys, do we get a discount? If you're in WA or planning to visit WA, make sure the RAF Aviation Heritage Museum of WA is on your list of places to go. To find out more, jump onto ZoomTV.com.au and follow the links.